in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News Today.
2 weeks of non-stop learning, entertainment, and visitors kicks off in Austin today. It's day one of South by Southwest EDU. Good morning, I'm Tom Miller. Austin leaders are expecting to speak later on this morning about festival plans, and it means tons of events, even more traffic, and a lot of money being spent here. KXAN Sam Stark explains how these festivals and events supercharge Austin's economy.
Lanyards and badges are aplenty in downtown Austin Sunday afternoon, meaning folks near and far are gearing up for South by Southwest.
So many different events in Austin, so this is just one of many items.
Those many events can bring a lot of fun, but some could argue a bit of chaos as well.
I do see the problem, especially walking around to different venues and you see traffic jam.
But all that traffic means there are many people spending out-of-town money at local businesses.
We can spend some money on food. That's why we're excited to kind of check out the different food, and we want to go places where we haven't been. Barbecues on our list.
We spend our money locally, and that's great. But when we can get someone to contribute to our economy that doesn't normally contribute to it, that's a value add for us.
Matt Patton from Angela Economics said a large factor helping the economy with these festivals is taxes collected from hotel stays and car rentals.
That tax revenue stays locally, and that really helps us as a community.
Last year, the South by Southwest Festival generated a little over $377 million, and hotel stays generated $2.3 million in local hotel occupancy tax revenue, some of which funds grant programs to support local artists.
It is an amazing thing that we're the 10th or 11th largest city in the country, and we have some of the most preeminent festivals or events globally. These are events that are, screaming to the world, here's Austin, and we're doing really cool things.
Sam Stark, KXAN News.
Going in depth on this, Austin Bergstrom International Airport says around 37,000 people traveled through each day during South by last year. The airport says if you're planning to travel during festival season, make sure to get there at least 2.5 hours early.
First warning weather with meteorologist Rich Siegel.
A lot of cloud cover and unseasonably warm air greets you on this very early Monday morning. Thanks for being with us. We're at 67 degrees in Austin. South-southeast wind at 7. These wind speeds are going to pick up later on this morning and on into the afternoon. And then we have some much stronger winds for you tomorrow coming out of the west. But right now, area-wide temperatures are averaging the mid and upper 60s. We're looking at a 61-degree reading at Cameron as our lowest temperature, but plenty between 64 and 68. The wind right now is coming out of the south, and most of our wind speeds are around 5 to 10. But again, as I said, winds will pick up later on today and more so for tomorrow. And as a result of tomorrow's strong west wind, Tuesday's wildfire risk is extreme for a good portion of our area. Parts of Milam, Lee, Fayette counties, the risk is very high. We'll explain why that will happen, what's going to cause that in between. Rain chances will be going up. How much rain will be measured in the wildfire threat for tomorrow still to come in first warning weather. Tom?
Thank you, Rich. There is a push to bring more pups to the Austin Police Department. These are dogs of APD's pet team. Their handlers bring them to visit officers on holidays and after emotionally draining calls. KXAN's Brianna Hollis takes a closer look at their mission.
You gonna watch it? Take.
There's a huge need for it.
Good boy.
I'm one of the program managers for the APD pet team.
Tell me what the APD pet team is.
It's a pet therapy team for Austin Police Department. And we provide comfort and support for law enforcement and the staff.
Good center.
Such benefits, just seeing the officers, the detectives, the staff, everyone we encounter, you can see them light up, but then also their shoulders release. You can tell that they're calmer and happier.
I can't think of any time where I've been in a bad mood and I've come up and I start petting an animal and I'm like still in a bad mood. It makes me feel such relief.
Austin Police Sergeant Ben Mewis, who's been an officer for nearly 25 years, calls this service invaluable.
It's just great. I love that our department has started this program. I know it means a lot to our officers. I've had my shift go through several difficult calls. I know other shifts gone through difficult calls. We have the APD pet team come in.
And he's not just part of this story to talk about the dogs. He's working to raise money for this program.
Mostly volunteers. They're almost all volunteers. They're coming in on their own time. They're getting the certifications for their dogs.
And you may have seen him before. He uses his passion for running to tackle crazy, nearly 100-mile courses to connect with the community and raise money and awareness for organizations he's passionate about. This time, he's focused on these guys. The dogs all at least have a level of training called K9 Good Citizen. 2 of the positions are grant funded, but the rest of these folks are volunteers.
We can't be everywhere, so we've developed a program, and it has gotten larger, and we want to be able to accommodate more first responders.
Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
Given some depth on this, therapy dogs do not have the same access as service dogs. Therapy dogs volunteer with their owners or handlers to help people in schools, hospitals, nursing homes, or other groups. But the Animal Humane Society says therapy dogs need permission to enter public places. Service dogs help people with disabilities and are always permitted in public places. Good morning. This is a live look outside from our Indeed Domain Tower camera, Q2 Stadium. There on the right side of your screen. Austin FC losing a game over the weekend as they went to Portland to take on the Timbers. Back here at home, some new parking changes are underway in Austin for the first time in more than 15 years. Last month, the city approved changes that prohibit parking in bike lanes and electric vehicle charging spots. The updated city code also adjusts metered parking hours, and this is to help manage demand. It's also streamlining the process for musicians trying to load and unload their equipment outside local venues. The changes took effect over the weekend, and they are the first parking changes since 2009.
Our thinking around parking has changed quite a bit, and we've got a lot of new tools and technology that's really helping us manage parking throughout our community.
The changes also outline some new parking fines. Digital reporter Kelsey Thompson has a closer look on what the rule breakers will pay online at KXAN.com.
Welcome back to KXAN News Today. The time is now coming up to 4:44 on this Monday morning. We are taking a live look from our Ally Medical Emergency Room camera in Dripping Springs. 60s right now across the area. South Carolina is now in a state of emergency, according to the governor. Crews are continuing to battle massive wildfires that began in the Carolina forest area of Myrtle Beach, started on Saturday. Right now, there's over 175 fires burning, fueled by unusually dry conditions and gusty winds. No one is hurt so far, and no buildings are burned. The conditions are expected to fade as a cold front pushes out that dry air over the southeast United States tomorrow.
You don't hear about a ton of wildfires sort of in the Carolinas, especially South Carolina, but you know, obviously, just like with what we're going to be facing, when you have the right conditions, it can get really dangerous.
It's very rare, Tom, and to all of you, that we see the extreme wildfire danger. You know, lately it's just been low to moderate, but we have one for tomorrow, and we're kind of putting the lead at where it should be. We're not burying it, you know, just to get clicks. But yes, there is an extreme wildfire danger for tomorrow. We'll get into that too. First, let's check our forecast high temperatures for today. You know, yesterday we had a high of 80. We'll be mostly in the upper 70s this afternoon, but with more cloud cover today than we had yesterday. We thought that we'd stay sunny through the day on Sunday, but I started noticing when I was over at Red and Charlie McCombs Field that the clouds started to roll in a lot sooner than expected. So for a while there, during especially the mid and late afternoon, we were partly to mostly cloudy. A little bit of light rain possible through the day underneath these clouds, but a higher probability of rain comes tonight. This is midnight. Front hasn't made it into the area yet, but it does make its appearance in the hill country between 5 and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Showers and a few thunderstorms moving through Lampasas and San Saba, Llano and Gillespie counties. Those storms and the showers move off to the east, crossing I-35 between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. These are non-severe storms, by the way. And then by 9 to 10 o'clock, the rain is starting to leave the viewing area, and that will leave us with a sunny afternoon and very strong west wind. There will not be much rain, just a few hundredths of an inch on Tuesday. There may be a few reporting stations south and east of Austin that could pick up about a tenth to just under a quarter of an inch. I'll just show this to you. I'm not getting excited about it. Marginal risk for severe thunderstorms still for parts of Lampasas and San Saba counties, but it's the southern edge of a larger marginal risk area that goes up to the north on Monday night. Tuesday morning, it's a general thunderstorm forecast, non-severe, but again, we talk about this severe outbreak in parts of the lower Mississippi Valley, and this is going to affect Mardi Gras celebrations tomorrow night in the New Orleans area. Okay, here's the fire weather watch. West winds 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts as high as 45 to 50. Humidity down into some single digits in some of the area. These are forecast wind gusts for our area as we get into this afternoon. We'll find about 25 to 30, but the gusty winds stay overnight and explode as we get into the early and mid-afternoon hours with that west wind for tomorrow. And I'll show you specifics for your neighborhood in our longer segment coming up in the next half hour. But here is the extreme wildfire risk for just about the entire viewing area. This is for Tuesday. There's a small portion eastern Milam, parts of Lee and Fayette counties where the danger is very high. So again, we don't see this much, and this means no burning as a result of that. And so we're looking at that to continue through Tuesday morning into Tuesday night. Today, clouds 77, 10% chance of rain, 50% tonight through tomorrow morning, and then sunny tomorrow afternoon with those strong west winds. Wednesday will be sunny with highs in the mid and upper 60s to around 70. Some scattered clouds Thursday, Friday, and then there'll be a little bit of rain Friday night into Saturday morning with our next frontal system coming through on Saturday morning.
As we go into March coming up, it's a big month for the American Red Cross. Joining me today to talk more about that is Marty McKellips with the American Red Cross here in Central Texas. Marty, Red Cross Month, tell me more about it.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Every year, the President of the United States declares March as Red Cross Month to honor all the service our volunteers provide across the country. And we try to have a lot of celebrations during that time because our volunteers are really amazing.
And it lines up nicely with Amplify Austin, which is coming up here, I believe, in the first week of March. So tell me, first of all, what Amplify Austin is and how it benefits you guys with Red Cross.
Yeah, so Amplify Austin is an amazing thing that happens this year, March 5th through the 6th. And they have a website where everyone can go in and donate to their favorite nonprofits, local nonprofits. They've raised about $112 million since 2013 for all the wonderful nonprofits that work across the Central Texas area.
How does the American Red Cross, specifically even here in Central Texas, use that money?
Everybody sort of knows about the big disasters, the fires and floods and all that. But here in Central Texas, we respond to every home fire. So if your home burns down in the middle of the night and it's freezing cold and you're on the street with no shoes, all you have to do is call 1-800-RED-CROSS, and amazing volunteers will show up and make sure you have clothes and food and a place to stay and mental health support and replaced prescriptions, sort of get you on that first step toward your recovery.
With Amplify Austin, we're looking for those dollars to stay here locally. Again, remind us when those dates are and if there's any opportunities to maybe get involved and volunteer with y'all.
March 5th at 6 p.m. it begins and ends March 6th at 6 p.m. And yes, we're always looking for volunteers. At this time of year, we're preparing for hurricanes on the Gulf Coast. So our plan is to recruit as many people as we can and get them trained so when that season starts, they're ready to go. All you have to do is go to redcross.org, put in your zip code, and find out where you can get trained.
And you can be as little involved or as most involved as you want to be as a volunteer. Right. Marty, thank you so much for joining us today, talking about the American Red Cross and Amplify Austin. We'll put all those links on our website. You can find that at KXAN.com.
Great. Thank you for everything you do, Kristen.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Happy Monday, all. Senior day for Texas women's basketball a day ago. Emotional. This is after the game. Let's pretend like it was before the game because there was some serious business to take care of on the court for the #1 ranked team in the country. Senior day against the Florida Gators over at Moody Center. Madison Booker and company trying to finish the regular season with yet another win. How about the nasty crossover from not a senior, just a sophomore? Madison Booker gets Texas going early. Started a bit slow, but man, they turned it on. Kyla Oldacre, a transfer, has been so good. 2 of her 18 points there. Then Texas starting to pull away here in the second quarter on the fast break. It's a freshman, Brianna Preston, a couple years from her senior day experience. But here's a veteran and a local product, Shea Holly, in the third quarter. Gets it to go there. And then more in the third quarter. Oldacre is unreal. Another big-time and one, usually so stoic. They're showing a little emotion here. Another steal and a score up ahead to Harmon. This senior hurt a little bit on the play, but she's tough. She'd be able to stay in. And finally, in the fourth, Taylor Jones, the other senior playing, able to knock that one in. And Texas, another dominant victory. They finish on a 13-game winning streak, the regular season, that is. They clinch a share of the SEC regular season crown. And Vic Schaefer, awful happy after.
They have been incredible for our team, our program. Shea's been here 5 years, Taylor 3, Rory and Amo 4. Just special. It's been a special time in my life. I appreciate them so much. They're the ultimate warriors. They're so competitive.
So the share of the SEC championship they clinched was with South Carolina. There was a coin flip yesterday by the SEC commissioner to determine which of Texas and South Carolina would get the #1 seed in the SEC tournament. Texas lost, so they'll be the #2 seed starting later this week. To Texas baseball, man, we've been saying for a while the Longhorns, after they lost their opener, have not lost since. Still true, and it's been a really tough weekend so far away from home over in Vegas, playing some very good baseball teams. But 2-0 heading into a day go against Illinois. Certainly did not start the way Texas would have liked. Colin Jennings just blast off, Fighting Illini fired up. They're up 6-1. Texas pitching had been really good before this, but struggled a bit a day ago. But not to worry. This unbelievable Texas offense starts to come through. Max Ballou up the gap. And the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year is fired up. Texas cutting into that deficit a little bit more. Then it's tied here for Jalen Flores in the bottom of the 6th. He goes the other way. There's pretty much the same area where Ballou did. Diving catch. Not today, my friend. And 2 runs come on in. Texas takes a 2-run lead after that. Look at Flores screaming after that. These 2 veterans making a big impact, Flores and Ballou. And Texas never looked back after that. Another dominant win over in Las Vegas. And this Texas team has quite the weekend out west. 15-6, they take down Illinois. Also a day ago, Texas softball, #2 team in the country, completes a double-header sweep. They continue to play some really good softball here early in the season. That's it for us. We'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Noah. Congratulations are in order this morning for the St. Michael's Academy boys basketball team. Won the state title in the 6A division over the weekend. The team was ahead by 22 in the first half against Dallas Parish Episcopal. However, the 2 were tied at 48 with 6 seconds left in the game. Junior Bo Ogden getting the buzzer beater for the win. This is St. Michael's 4th Final Four appearance in the last 5 years. And the team's first title since 2003.
To be a state champion, it is amazing. I mean, we obviously our goal is to win every single game we can, but throughout the season, we're trying to win games. Some games we're losing here and there, but we're really just trying to prepare for playoffs. And our ultimate goal was to win the state championship, which I haven't been able to do, and we haven't been able to do in the past 3 years. So to finally get it done, it felt amazing. And I'm so thankful to be a part of it, and I'm really proud of my teammates, my coaches.
USA Today ranked the team number 25 in the country. And an annual tradition is changing with the climate. The Iditarod Trail sled dog race underway in Alaska. Organizers, though, they needed to change the route because there's not enough snow. That change added more than 100 miles to the 1,000-mile race. This year's race tied with 2023 for having the smallest field. Just 33 mushers taking part. It's a 10-day race, and it takes participants to the town of Nome on the Bering Sea. Taking a look at some of the numbers on this race, the Iditarod's 4-legged athletes will go through about 100,000 booties during the race. They help protect the dog's paws from the snow, the ice, and the frigid temperatures. Mushers pack supplies that they're going to need during the race, but that they can't carry. About 180,000 pounds of dog food delivered to some of those checkpoints ahead of the race. And this year's event is setting a record for the longest Iditarod at 1,128 miles. The first held in 1973, making this year's race the 53rd. Coming up, how first responders spent their weekend preparing for the worst. You're listening on the KXAN Today podcast. Thanks for joining us. Hope you'll join us on air for that. And all our stories are over on KXAN.com.